So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce and hand over to Elizabeth Perkins, and over to you.
Thank you so much. Well, I've got to say, first of all, thank you so much to Rasha for allowing us to hold this panel today. And it's great to see so many people here at London Zoo, fantastic. We are hoping we are going to be showing a video quite soon, but I should introduce myself. I'm the night news editor of the Daily Express, and I also news edit at the Sunday Telegraph. And we also have Mandy on video, as you just heard. First of all, I wanted to introduce you to Takis. Basically, he's come all the way from Athens, and he is the founder of Mindset Lead Ahead. We both studied at Oxford's Saïd Business School and did executive organizational leadership there. And he also studied at Harvard University as well, business school, I should say, as well. He basically has had a 22-year career in business and has worked at a variety of different national and multinational organizations, and knows all about the trials and tribulations of business with, obviously having to deal with COVID, and being in Greece has had to deal with the challenges of the economy over there as well, and was a CEO for 8 years in retail. I'm also grateful to Elena. We're going to split this session, and she's going to have the opportunity to talk about the school's innovation program, and I'm sure that will be very, very interesting for us to hear all about that. But first of all, we would like to share a video from Mandy, who unfortunately isn't able to be with us today because she's over in sunny California. So Mandy Fitzberger, she also studied at Harvard the same time as Takis, and she is basically focusing in on the same issues that we are today and talking about leadership plasticity. She was featured in Forbes magazine, and she is very much an expert in global marketing and communications. But let's see what she's got to say first of all.
Hi everyone, my name is Mandy Fitzberger. I am a fractional CMO and a current executive MBA student. I've spent many years focused on learning and improving through both education and my life experiences. And I'm excited to be here today to share some insights from my leadership journey as someone who spent many years observing, forming, and now practicing what truly makes a great leader. When I began forming my views on leadership, I had a very narrow idea of what it meant. I thought it was about command, strength, and decisiveness. I grew up in a small manufacturing town in the middle of America, and I spent 15 years training intensively for gymnastics competitions, 6 days a week, often 4 to 5 hours a day. So all I knew was what I saw in the gym and in my hometown. And while all that training led to some memorable performances, they were just that, performances. I was performing for other people. I hadn't yet developed my own individual thoughts on how to lead, teach, or pursue life beyond the gym. And that path was filled with highs and also some lows, particularly as I transitioned to adulthood and began finding my own footing. What I thought was this completion of learning when my career ended was really just the beginning for my next career. And as I've grown, I've learned that leadership isn't a fixed point. It's a journey that evolves with each new experience, each new mistake, and most importantly, each moment of curiosity. Real leadership is less about command and more about that curiosity. It's about asking questions and learning to ask the right ones. Curiosity, it's what keeps us growing. It keeps us open to new perspectives and ways of doing things. It allows us to challenge those old assumptions and find better paths forward. As humans, it's pretty natural. We feel comfortable with what we know. But when we lean into that curiosity, rather than staying in our comfort zones, we open ourselves up to growth. And each time I've chosen curiosity over certainty, I've discovered new ways to lead. And I've become more resilient, adaptable, and open to change. Curiosity, though, it's only one part of the journey. Courage is the other. It takes courage to lead, not just in uncertain moments, but really, truly, when your own beliefs and values are put to the test. And there have been many times in my leadership journey where I've had to make choices that weren't easy or popular, but they were rooted in principles I believed were right. So staying true to your convictions, it's not going to be comfortable, and it often takes way more courage than you think. But it strengthens not only your leadership, it also strengthens the integrity of the team around you. Now, here's something I personally wish I had learned much earlier. Giving yourself grace. I used to think those mistakes were failures, something to avoid at all costs. But over time, I realized that mistakes are some of the greatest teachers we have. So be kind to yourself when you make a mistake, and it'll allow you to grow from it, instead of letting it diminish your confidence. It's truly an act of self-compassion, and it's essential for growth. If you can see those mistakes as opportunities, you can change your outcome. The perfect leader doesn't exist. Every leader is going to make mistakes. It's inevitable, much like falling down. They can be scary, and that fear can be really strong when trying something new. Like I mentioned earlier, I grew up in the gym from age 3 to 18, right in the heart of USH Gymnastics. And that meant 15 years of literally falling non-stop. Yet here I am, I'm still in one piece. The goal I realized isn't to avoid that falling. Literally everyone falls down. The goal is how to fall safely and get back up again. So find places where you can play. Make it a sandbox, if you will, where you can fall safely, pick yourself back up, and learn from it. And in closing, I'd like to leave you with this one thought. True leadership isn't about having all the right answers or always being the first to speak. It's about being curious, having courage, and giving yourself permission to make mistakes. Fall as many times as you can and learn how to do it safely. You'll reach greater heights than you ever could imagine. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Okay, well, first of all, I wondered if you can just give us a bit of an insight, really, about leadership plasticity. I mean, obviously, we are hearing everywhere the terminology of leader as is becoming very crucial of what he or she is doing. So according to you and your experience, what can we say is the leader? Who is he or she? And what is important to know?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Rasa Saïd for the invitation in this amazing evening event. Thank you very much for that. And also thank you, Liz, for a very nice introduction. It was really very good, and I'm really happy to be here to meet all of you. So I would like to start by saying that the name of the event is of our panel is Leadership Plasticity, and you can hear it a little bit innovative and a little bit strange, and this is the truth. Leadership plasticity in the terms of leadership development and in the context of the leadership development in something new in the academic world. And I would like a little bit to make it more simple to you today. And I would like to start by analyzing a little bit those two words. And I would like to start by saying and dividing the first word, which is leadership, in two parts. And by taking the first part, which is the leader. So first of all, we have to refer to the leader, who is someone that we know holds a responsible position, probably being a CEO or being the leadership team in a big organization. The second part of the word leadership is the word SIP, which for me refers to a journey, refers to a transformation process, refers for someone making a change in his life or her life. And the last word is plasticity, which is the most strange for all of us, which means the ability of our brain to realign and to learn and to relearn new things, new skills, new behavior, new tactics, and our brain's ability to adapt a new experience and new challenges for improving his leadership skills. So let's start a little bit our discussion by analyzing a little bit the word leader and what that means. So if you make a quick search in Google, what is a leader, it will take you about 4 billion results. So Can you imagine 4 billion results just by searching what is a leader? So from that, you can understand how important is this word. And mainly the definition of the leader is someone that he's trying to inspire, to educate, to help other people to follow him in order to develop them in the future leaders of the world. But today I will not speak more about the professional context of the word leader, but I'm going to focus more on the personal context. And what I mean about that is that for me, and according to my opinion, leader is also someone that is being a parent, is someone that is a teacher, is someone that can be a mentor, is someone that can be a therapist. Those people too, they hold a leadership position. Those people are responsible to inspire their kids, to inspire their students, to help them, to support them, to educate them in order to become better than us. I am a parent. I have a kid 14 years old, and what I'm trying to do is to give them knowledge, offer him choices and options in his life in order to become better than me. Okay, so what we're trying to do is we are trying to develop the future leaders of the world. And mainly, and the most important thing by start analyzing who is that kind of leader is to make, first of all, your homework, to make our homework by understanding who we really are, which is our personality, which are our characteristics, which are our capabilities, and I mean which are our strengths, our weaknesses, which are our values, and which are our red lines. And I insist a lot on that because the first and the foremost important job of the leader in the professional, but mainly in the personal context that I told you before, is to find out who you really are. It's very difficult homework. For me, it took me a lot of years to make that work, and it's really a journey like a roller coaster to be in the circus. But it's really very insightful and very important to be able to know who you really are. And I can tell you an example here that if you want to travel by a boat, let's say, and if you know that the captain of the boat does not have the proper skills, that does not know which are the resources that he will need to make that journey, he does not has the potential skills to motivate his crew, are you going to trust that captain to travel with? So it's exactly the same also in the personal life and in the professional life. I can tell you for my professional experience of the last 22, 23 years that if you don't know who you really are, if you don't know why you exist, and if you don't know which are your capabilities, it's going to be really very, very hard someone to follow you, even your kid, even your wife, your husband, your friends, your team of people, and it will be really impossible to inspire and to motivate those people. So I can say that leader is someone that knows very well who he is or she is, and that he was ready and capable of making his homework, of understanding who he really is and how he can exploit and explore all the characteristics and the values that he has.
I mean, obviously we're hearing a lot about different success stories of well-known leaders and CEOs from a variety of different organizations in terms of how successful they have been. But what I really wanted to know from you is, what is behind the successful persona? What are they thinking and why?
I think one of the critical elements for a leader to be successful in terms of the professional, but as I told you, I'm going to speak today about the personal context, is to have a clear purpose. This is the first and the foremost important thing, is to have a clear purpose, to try to find out who is your purpose. And what I mean about purpose is just to find out why you do what you do, why we exist in this world. For it's for sure that all of us, we exist in this world for one reason. So what we have to do as leaders, and what is our homework and our duty, is to try to find out why we exist here in this world. And it's really very difficult, to be honest, because according to my personal experience, I can tell you that I have found my deeply real purpose the last 2 years after making a transformation and a change in my professional life. I will speak to you about that later. And for me, it's really important to find your purpose, because you can become more creative, you can have more clarity and confidence of where you are going, and you can find your purpose by integrating crackable moments, crisis moments of your past, of your present, and moments of the future that you are going to and that you are willing to have. And by finding your purpose, you will be able to help first yourself. You will be able then to help your family, your friends, your organization, your society, your country, the whole world. According to a research that, and it's really shocking, that research, to be honest, according to a research that Harvard Business School has made, I think on 2019, 2020 it was, they have asked about the 500 top CEOs in Fortune list in US, and they asked them just the simple question, what is your purpose? And the result it was that less than 20%, they had a clear purpose in their life. So imagine even those people that they hold very responsible positions in their organizations. They run business of billion and billion of dollars. They have employees, thousands of people. Even those people, they don't have a clear purpose. And why that happened? Because they don't have stay and they have not looked from a balcony perspective, let's say, their life, what they want to do, and why they exist. And I will try to tell you, as I told you, my personal experience here, and I will try not to be very tiring to you and then to make the long story short, because the time and the clock is running. And until 2022, I was a CEO in a retail company, as Liz has told you. And before COVID, from 2019, I was struggling with my performance, with my effectiveness. I didn't have the mood to go, to wake up in the morning and to go to work. I was really anxious, stressed, and all that kind of stuff. This is called burnout. I was in that phase. So during COVID, all of us, we stay at home. And I can tell you that for me, COVID period, even it was a negative experience for all of us, it was really very productive for me and for my family. So I decided during COVID that I want to change my life. I want to improve my skills, my knowledge, my leadership skills. I start digging on the internet to find some programs. So I find two amazing programs. One, it was in Oxford University Saïd Business School about organizational leadership, where I met Liz. And the second one was in Harvard Business School about leadership development program, where I met Mandy. I made the applications with the feeling and with the opinion that for sure they are not going to accept me. I'm really too old. I'm 49 years old right now. I'm really too old. I don't have the skills. I don't have the knowledge. They are very well-known top universities. So, okay, just make the application. It's my dream to make an application in those universities, but for sure they are not going to accept me. So after, I think 1 month, I got an email from Oxford University that they want to make an interview call with me. I said, okay, it's bureaucracy. They just screening people and nothing will happen. We make the interview call, and after, I think 1-2 weeks, I got an acceptance letter. I said, this cannot happen, okay? And I was really very, very happy. It was one of the happiest moments in my life the last 3-4 years. And this was not the end yet. After that, I got another email from HBS, Harvard. Again, they want an interview call. Again, I've got an acceptance letter, and to make the long story short, try to get out of your comfort zone. Try to test your limits. Try to push yourself out of the limits. There, and by having this experience, academic experience, the last 3 years during COVID, I went to Oxford, I went to Boston, I stayed there for 10 months, almost 1 year, with the support also of my family. I have found my truly purpose. I have found the power to quit from being CEO, for being in the top position, having everything in my life, and starting all over again. And now I have the privilege to live a happy and meaningful life, and by having a clear purpose of inspiring and educating other people to change their life. It was very, very hard to have that whole experience, to be honest. It's not easy, but you have to try hard to find the real purpose by having self-awareness, by having self-acceptance, and by trying to change your life.
And just briefly wondered if you can just talk a bit more about leadership plasticity while we wait. Is that okay, Takis?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's really strange to hear the word leadership plasticity, but what plasticity means for me, and what I have said also at the beginning, is the ability to learn and relearn new things. It's the ability to adapt to new challenges and to new experiences. And you can do that by redefining, first of all, your purpose, by trying to find why you exist in this world, by trying to find why you do what you do. This is the first thing about the plasticity. It's a terminology of neuroscience, of leadership neuroscience. There is not a lot of academic stuff about plasticity and neuroscience, but it's something really new, and mainly I mean about your ability to learn and to change your life. And you can do that by developing a growth mindset. And what I mean about a growth mindset is by trying to change how you act, how you behave, how you feel, and mainly by behaving with authenticity, by listening other people, by having feelings of empathy and emotional intelligence, and by trying to understand what those young people they are telling us. And if you don't have a growth mindset, it will not be very easy to listen and to understand those young people. And I can tell you an example here. When I'm going to schools, I'm a mentor also to schools. And when I'm going to schools, I'm asking the kids, why you spend so time on the mobile phones, and why even when you go out with your friends, you speak to each other with the mobile phones. I said, this is crazy. Okay, in my age, we were not doing those things. And the shocking answer that I got is, we know that, but why you criticize us on that? How you can help us on that? So what I'm going to say here is that if we don't have the growth mindset to listen those needs, to listen to what young people they are telling us, how we can help them, how we can help them to become the future leaders of our world. This is our duty, and this is what we have to do, and to try to inspire those young people, to try to educate those people, to help those people to face all the adversities, all the challenges that they are going to face in their life with a better way and with a most productive way, and to give them options to do whatever they like in their lives. It's their life. They are responsible for their life. They don't have to live our life and what we wanted to live, but we want to live their life. And by developing a growth mindset, I believe that we will be able to listen more and to understand more those young people.
I was just a really interesting talk. Thank you very much. I was really interested because the young people are given the message about grit and sticking at a problem and just moving through it and keeping going. Is there a conflict that you see, or is there a way to accommodate the different requirements of grit and plasticity?
Yes, thank you very much for the questions. for the question. Yeah, it's difficult to combine grit and plasticity, according to my opinion. Okay, plasticity, according to neuroscience, has to do with our brain and with our brain ability to learn and to relearn new things. And we can do that even at the age of the 80 and 90 years old. And this is not my words, it's according to research to brains that have been analyzed to older people, okay? About grit, it's something more about a feeling, about emotions. It's something that for sure can be interconnected because our brain also, a part of our brain has also part of emotions, but plasticity is something more to do, let's say. It's something more actual, okay? And after that, I think that you will start building emotions like grit, like emotional intelligence, like empathy, like compassion, like all that kind of things, okay? So yes, for sure, can be connected, but not on the first part of the game, let's say, okay? Somewhere to the end, those two things, yes, for sure, they can interconnect the emotions and the change that you have, because everything is inside here. And the longest one author that I have read he has written that the longest travel that someone has to take is from his head to his heart. Even it looks very close, but if you think about that, it's really very hard because it has to do with the brain, with emotions, with plasticity, with change, with empathy, with a lot of things, okay? And for me, leadership today, it has to be something that should be driven by your heart. It has started leadership to be driven by our hands, about 17th, 18th century. Then it went to our head, but now it has to be from our heart. I don't know if I have answered your question. Okay, thank you for that. If you let me, I will speak the whole day. So
I know. That's what I love about you. I was going to say, Elena, did you want to? I know you're struggling with the tech, but did you want to sort of chat about?
Yes, I just want to say I'm really inspired by what I'm hearing, and about the new definition of leadership, about taking chances and growing and not being afraid to fail. Pushing yourself further. I really relate to your story about quitting as a CEO, starting on a path towards your purpose. This is what I have done as well. I have been forever in the corporate world, and 2 years ago, I quit the corporate world because I really felt like I needed to go and see this digital camp that I was growing as a side project come to life. So I decided to decline better paying jobs in order to follow my purpose. And it's a very scary process. Being a startup, I have worked for startups that have become very successful, but I've never done one of my own. And this is very scary because I'm also supporting my family, and this is a lot of risk, but I really believe in what I'm doing, and I am so grateful for the opportunity to be here and to partner with, I hope, more of you, and thank you very much, Russia and Toucan Project. I wanted to talk to you about what we're trying to do in bringing sustainability into education and the New Schools Innovation Program. So I was going to show you a nice video of what we've done with our digital camp in the summertime. What we do is we bring students together with professionals to get insight and hands-on play with technology, and we get them working together on projects that help the planet. And we do that by working with professionals all around the world to support students with coming up with their own ideas. And it's thanks to many of you in this room that we've been able to help many students from over 30 different countries, over 1,000 students going through our program, our digital camp, our digital incubator, and digital academy, who have then gone on to not only come up with their own ideas and build confidence in presenting, not being afraid to fail, but also actually raising money for their own startup businesses. So our vision is to help seed the next generation of social, sustainable entrepreneurs. And for us today, this is a really meaningful point in time because this is when it really starts to pick up steam. That's my hope. And it will only be with the help of all of you in the room to be part of that journey, to all the schools that are here, the Stowe School and the Lady Eleanor Hollis School and other schools and educators and volunteers who are here giving up their time because you believe in sharing your skills and helping other students to go on that journey. So what we are trying to do is to launch a new program in 2025 that is going to enable us to bring sustainability and digital skills education in a structured program that goes between January and June, and it's a 12-week program that will help both teachers and students to build digital skills, learn about data and AI, learn about user design, user experience design, learn about design thinking for sustainability, to get micro qualifications and certificates, and ultimately to be able to launch their own green tech projects. And we can only do this with your support as volunteers to help mentor the students, with support from businesses to help fund scholarships for students that are dying to be part of this program but may not have the money. Our goal is to be able to reach over 1 million students and support more people connecting to build projects that are meaningful to help the planet and learn how to solve global challenges. This is what we are on a mission to do, is to connect and empower the next generation. So we want your help. I was gonna lay out the whole program to show you what it is, but effectively it's 12 weeks, an 8-week digital incubator, a 4-week digital academy where students will have a chance to build different digital skills in AI design thinking, connecting and building smart monitors and more. And then they will be able to build up their projects with support from professional mentors. Those of you who have been here this morning have gone through the workshop training, and others who are not in the room today, and help these students to ultimately launch their own businesses or go through the process to understand and learn what it takes to come up with their own idea, build it, and learn how to bring it to life. Whether they actually launch their own business or not doesn't really matter in a way, because it's about the whole learning process. So that's what I'm really excited to launch, or at least we are trying to launch it. We do need a minimum number of students to be able to support this. We are asking schools, especially here in the UK, but also schools around the world, to join us and become a partner. And we want you to go and sign up students and to be part of this community. And I can talk to you about what it means to become a school partner. We want you to sign up at least 10 students. Our goal is to support 100 people to go through this program over the next 6 months, up until June, and to be able to showcase their projects. But we do need the funding, we do need your support, and we are launching a digital platform to do that. So we will talk more about that when we can show on the computer.
Well, can I just say thank you so much, Elena, and to Takis for inspiring us so much today. And just very briefly, before I wrap up this session, I just wanted to mention too, I know Christmas is fast approaching and we've got a festive drinks taking place at the Houses of Parliament on December the 12th. There's more information on my LinkedIn account, so it's Liz Perkins, and I'm the night news editor of the Daily Express. If you want to find out more on there, you can do. But thank you so much for today's session. It's been really, really interesting to hear from both of you. Thank you.
Round of applause for our panelists, please.